I don't hear you.
Yeah, hold on.
All right, I hear you.
Oh, I hear you. Let me see. Is it not very attractive? Can you hear me?
Oh, wonderful.
Look at my beautiful face that you are. It's been for so long. Look at how
I
cute.
know. I was looking for an excuse to work with you again.
I know. I'm so excited. And I know there's always so much to catch up on. So now I know we're going to be working together. And I know what we want to dig in. But let's make in the next week or two, let's make a date that it's not business, but it'll be business because I still am doing some virtual networking. And I mean, I know I'll learn more about what you're doing today, but just like I want to catch up on your juicy life in so many ways.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can do that a little bit today or also as
Yeah,
well.
you'll be filling me in because I want to know the background and what's been happening. So
Yeah,
it's been a while, hasn't it? I mean, well, I was working with Frank though last year.
right.
Hmm.
And then he took 1 year off work.
Oh, he did. Just for fun or for stress or
No, just for fun and also to explore how we would do with his trading business.
okay.
And actually, he's has not been consistent. So we cannot put more money in because he's doing some months he has 6% of his return and sometimes nothing. So that's why we cannot move forward with his business.
Okay. So is
But
he,
then
did he, okay, go ahead.
we are finding all kinds of ways to liberate him. So
Okay.
that because I'm free because of the 3 properties in Holland, and I bought one more in the UK.
God,
And the UK is good business.
that is amazing. That is
So
amazing.
so that is great. But now he's struggling with all his forex and how so and it keeps him busy, and so that's why we stumble across another way with this trading robot. But anyways, so he's been off work for 1 year, and we've been traveling a lot to the UK to visit properties, and we are for sure going to pursue that way. What else can I tell you?
Well, is this the trade? Are you still doing the whole trading thing? And because this is, I know you've gotten into the real estate, but you were doing that other trade thing.
Right. So my baby was the real estate, and his
Yeah.
baby was trading foreign exchange, shares, gold. We've got an account in Singapore at this point. So we've got gold and silver in Singapore in an account. We would travel to Singapore to visit where the safe house.
Okay.
So that was also through a coaching program, so that we all kinds of highways to get passive income. It's really becoming our thing, right?
I love it. Now, are you doing anything with coaching, speaking, one-on-one presentation skills? Remember those days?
Oh, well, for sure. I'm sure that they will come in with me because I will talk on properties. I am JVing. So that means that I find deals in the UK and I would like to attract investors here in the Netherlands. So for sure that will come through speaking.
Yes.
And then also with all this trading robot that we have to go out and speak, but it will not be my main business. I stopped my business since this year. So
Okay.
I'm not officially in the trade of the commerce, the chambers of commerce anymore.
Okay.
So that's how I stopped. But I don't know if I can still be of service to you, but that kind of thing, because I'm starting a limited company in the UK.
Right.
So I'm making choices there.
Good. Well, we'll see. I'm curious to hear a little bit more about this new business. And you said that you want help putting on events, or tell me a little bit of the backstory and where I can best support you with all this.
All right. Yeah, the bigger picture, right?
I
Yes.
love it. I'm excited.
So I have been signed up for a coaching program with Kevin Green. Kevin Green is a Welsh guy who
Okay.
has over 1,300 properties in Wales. So, and through him, I have a mentor, and I have a wonderful sourcing agent in Wales. And I just bought my first property of £35,000, which is really a bargain.
Yeah.
And we're putting it up and putting it on sales again. So there is a whole big business in the UK where I'm finding my way.
Okay.
And so that will be one branch of what I will be doing for the next 10 years, I'm sure.
Okay.
Then Frank is a coach for Investment Mastery, which is also a Forex company that does seminars. And he's also doing accountability coaching for them, for people who are online and trading for foreign exchange and shares and commodities. So he's also made progress, but in the results, it's not consistent enough so that he can live off it.
Okay. I just have to say, though, this is the beauty of being like the witness coach, the history friend, to see the two of you. And it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but it was. I mean, just the comfort, the confidence, the frank, the speaking, the owning, the accountability. I mean, when he was struggling, it's beautiful to watch this witnessing.
Right.
Yes.
So this is us a little bit. And how about you? How are you doing? Because
I'm the queen. I'm good. I'm just the bullets is I still have my networking group. It's been 5.5 years now. I have over 200 women. I crown them. I'm still doing my speaking, but as you can imagine, in Erie, I've kind of hit my limit, and the women here are very, Midwestern, a little small-minded compared to my LA gals. So used to, as you know, I love teaching women to play bigger, to get on Oprah, and they're more about buy this lipstick, buy the lipstick, buy the Tupperware. So with that, I'm actually going to LA in a couple of weeks, reconnecting with a lot of my women and getting more into Zoom. My goal is, which I've been playing with, as you know, the virtual networking, but getting more comfortable with that and starting small, but doing more virtual to go out to the bigger people, and actually in a couple of weeks going to a conference, going back to a reunion of my LA entrepreneurs so I can get them to interview like we're doing right now. It looks like, since we're face to face, and this may not be right for you right now because I know when you were doing the coach, but it may be based on I still have to understand more your business. And maybe it's just a motivational talk, which is good for your muscles. It's good for your muscles to just kind of share your story, because I think your story is fascinating. So that's something over there. But yeah, so I'm still in the same realm, though, not as dramatically changed as you with all these things going on.
Yeah. Okay. But that's good to hear that you're still doing the same thing and that I can rely, and that you are also more online, I understand.
More online, but just finally getting more, I have to reach back out. Like when I found you years ago and I was doing more out energy, more out networking, but I'm rebranding myself, and then the websites got code on it, and because I have your beautiful photo and testimonial up there, but I still haven't launched it, and it's all the technical stuff. Like right now, someone just said, "Oh, I looked at your website, but it's got code all over it." So, it's just always almost there, though. I'm 80% there.
That's good.
Yeah, for going back out into the world in a bigger way. So
that's good.
Yeah.
So, and now, before we start with the meat,
yes.
How do I record this thing?
Okay, it should be. Now it says right now on my thing it's recording. So I thought you would know, because you're like more the host, but my thing says recording. So when we're done,
all right.
I should render, and if you don't have it, I should be able to send this to you.
Okay.
It says you don't have a thing up top.
I've got something that says record, and I'm pushing it now, and then it says please request record permission from the meeting host.
Yes.
So you are the meeting host, or I'm the meeting host?
I thought you were the meeting host since you set up this. This Zoom link was new. It wasn't the one I sent you, right?
Uh, I'm not, I don't know. But anyways, if you're recording, is there a way you can send me the recording after, or
Yeah.
is that
No,
easy?
it renders. I know what's weird is it sort of, renders. It takes a while to cook, but even Phil's home today. So I'm sure, in the by the end of the day, if not sooner, whatever.
That would be,
Yeah, I'll make sure. But why don't you also press that button? See, because you're the host. So you should, as the host, be able to press the button to say record now.
but since I get a thing popping up saying, please request record permission from the meeting host, it means I'm not the meeting host.
Oh.
So you're the meeting host. So anyways, I'm happy that if you, I don't see a way I can record it.
Okay.
If you can send me the recording in some way,
Yep.
that would be great.
Yes, I hope so. I hope it works. Yeah. I'm still this technical stuff, but yeah.
I know me, I'm the same.
I know. Yeah, but it says stop video, so I think we should be good. Okay.
All right. So then where I am today now.
Yes.
So which is, okay, how did you get the reading of the email?
Yes. And I printed it out.
Oh, okay. Was it easy for you to understand what was on there? No.
No, I didn't really understand the GTI net. So it's like talking to me like, a lay person. And it sounds like you're wanting to recruit people for this project. But yeah, talk to me in laypersons very simply what this is about, kind of the business model, and then what do you need so that we can come up with a plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So first of all, GTI net. What you need to understand, it's a trading robot. Like Frank is doing trading, foreign exchange.
Yeah.
He has to put out trades, and then so he can do that manually. This is a robot that does 2,000 trades a month. That's a lot.
So like a robot.
Yes, like a real robot.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's like it's like a robot. Let's
okay.
say. And but there is also an MLM system behind it, but it's optional, and that's why it's different. Because when I say MLM, most people are turned off, right? So, but it's optional. So, and it is quite fabulous in a way that people are apprehensive because it's too much of the figures behind it. It's overwhelming. But it goes like this. It's a guy who invented a trading robot, and this robot has results that you can look up online, and it's average of 17% per month. So that is like 170% per year. That's amazing how much he makes with it.
Okay.
But that's only one way. The other way is that he places the robot with brokers. Brokers is the platform that when you want to trade, you need a broker that provides you with services, and he charges you with a spread.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's their model of business.
Okay.
But because he places his robot there with the broker, he gets commission of all the people he brings in. So that's also a way of income. Mm-hmm. So he gets income from the trading results, and he gets income from the commissions, the spreads of the brokers.
Is the whole thing like this robot that because it's moving so much faster and doing so much more than a human could do, right? Yes. So is that kind of the whole thing that like this is like quadrupling your time and money and energy and stuff like that?
Absolutely, and it's emotionally detached. It is 2,000 trades per month, which you can never do that. And
oh my God.
With the algorithm, it works with the algorithm. So and these are all the features that really work really well. So, and that's why he can give this return, which is so high, because this is the deal. This is the deal. Actually, and then you have this MLM system, because you would say it's a financial product, but it is not, because we don't have to comply with financial authorities, because it is actually, you buy a license for a software, so the software being the robot. So you buy a share of the robot, and this way you don't have to comply with all the financial authorities.
Okay.
So the good thing about this is that if you give me $500, you buy a share of the robot, which is worth $21,000.
Okay.
And with this 500 deposit, you don't have to fill it up until 21,000. That's your choice. So you can leave it at 500, and then every week you generate 1%. So the first week you get 505, second week 510 is on your account, then 515, and then 5. Yeah, according, it's 5%. It goes up because it compounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get 1% per week, which is enormous, because this is 4% per month.
Mm-hmm.
And this way you can work your way up to 21,000.
Mm-hmm. Which is the goal.
Which is the goal. But Frank and I, we are more in a hurry. So we invested $21,000.
Okay.
And this $21,000 generates 4% a month, which is $900 a month.
Okay.
So for an investment of $21,000, you get a return of $900 a month.
Okay.
Which is a lot.
Right.
It's a lot, because this is a year, 10,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2 years you have gained back your 21,000. So it's a lot. Can you see that, how much that is? With an investment of 21,000, you get a return of $900 a month.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yes. I think I've got this. Let me ask you a couple quick questions. First of all, and you might be going there with this. How long have you been doing this?
Since December 2016.
Okay, so just a couple months, right?
Yes.
And how did you find out about this? How did you hear? How did you get recruited for this?
Through a friend who went to an evening. Through an accountant friend.
Okay.
That went to a social meeting in the evening.
Which is what you're wanting to do, is put on these events, right?
Right, because this is just the 4% per month, which is huge already, but this is without the MLM. If I bring in people, there will be bonuses, which are much higher.
Right. It's always like anything. MLM's like, the product's great. If you want to just buy the product, that's fine. But if you want to go bigger and make passive income, you want to get a downline, basically, right?
Right. So that's a bonus. But I want to make clear that's optional to people. So if they just want, right.
So they don't feel pressure.
Yeah. So that's, now my question to you is, how are you with MLM, and what have you done, and what is your experience with it?
All kinds. I mean, first of all, I've been in those situations a little bit in the past. I mean, you have to remember, I've been teaching networking for 25 years, so I work a lot. 80% of even my divas and people I work with are MLM, and the thing is, it's almost pulling out, which maybe you've made the connection or not, all the work that you and I have done in sales and presentation skills and seating is where I focus them, because I find, and that's why I'm glad you called me, that when they coach you, when you're in MLM, they take you like 80% there, but sometimes I go sort of against their model, like teaching more hope and not so much the numbers. They have to see the vision. It's reminding you of your sales days and how to overcome objections. And then teaching MLM people how to sell the hope and not be salesy. So, anything from if it's makeup people to I haven't worked with people with robots, but, it's all to me. It's
the same.
It's, like even right now, where I see based on how we work together, if you're pitching somebody one-on-one your presentation, how can you simplify it? How can you give me an analogy? Because you're just throwing the numbers, the whole bit. But if I want to buy in, I need to say, ooh, that I can reconstruct this part of my home or the money.
Yeah.
So, right? So so if we're just doing this kind of fake, if you were like giving me all that because you're like, the 900's good, the 900's good, but then they're just features. If you remember the old days, features and benefits. So it's almost like pulling that all back in.
Yes, and the 900 is just one-liner because there is more to it. If you go into the MLM, there is even more to it. But yes, I understand that, you have to make it more like a picture, like words.
Well, it's kind of coming up with the one-liner, and I wouldn't say the one-liner, like if we were getting nitty-gritty and we're just playing hypothetical, would even be part of the hook. It's almost like going back, because any business, coming up with the one-liner, the second liner, the third liner, coming up with your one-on-one pitch, reminding you, teaching you. You'll see a lot of actually the work we've done, because what you need to do, and this is where I coach MLM people, because what I know for sure is your credibility goes out the roof when you're standing in front of people. There's a feeling of you being an expert and credibility.
Right.
And then having your pitch down, that's even if with some of these PowerPoints, but knowing how to talk about the PowerPoints, connect with the audience, use body language, like all these things that we've done.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter if you're selling a robot or Mary Kay lipstick,
Yeah. But what I also looking is where I'm feeling insecure is I don't know where to what events to go. Maybe you also have ideas on the events to go, or to how to recruit people. I need to go to network events to pull them in, but also social meetings. How do you do that? And where do you go and speak, find slots to speak, right?
Right. So the first question before even getting into that would be, who is your ideal client? So say you and I were back in the day, we're back in time, and we're working on you teaching people how to do speaking, right? Then we would say, who's your market? Ooh, women entrepreneurs. Let's find a women entrepreneur group. So the question would be, who's your ideal client? Like, you have to get really clear. Like for me, I almost did it backwards, like back to the divas. Of course, I have girls in my group that are in their 20s. I have girls in their 70s. But what I started noticing is everybody was turning 40. Everybody was turning 40, like 80% of my girls. And I'm like, you know what? That's my real, even though, of course, I'm 56, it's by demographic, because most, like, they're different than you and I. Like, they all sort of, their kids are a little older. They kind of lost their way with marriage. And remember, this is the Midwest, marriage and kids. There was time for them. So I started focusing on my demographic being 40. They're my ideal. They have the money. They're established. They're married. This is kind of my demographic. So what I'm saying for you, this technology is high level. And I wouldn't go. Some of these chambers that I've maybe sent you to in the past maybe are, low, just for crass sake, lower level struggling entrepreneurs. Who's your ideal client? What's their mentality?
Let me talk a little bit on that to see if this bounces off of you in a way that, that gives idea. Because I find Frank has an audience of traders. And they go totally into the nitty-gritty of how the robot works, which is also can be a side way of, getting into all the technicality. But they are aware of how much you can make through trading. So that is easy.
That's easy.
But they are averse of MLM. So that's hard. And they get lost in technicalities.
Yes.
Then another audience is older people, because there is so much money out here that wants to find a way. The bank doesn't give anything anymore. It's high risk to invest, so that they want to have a secure way to have a return for their grandchildren, for themselves, and these are easier people to get to. But although it's a high level, but then I have to skim it down to the basic bone and not get into the technicality, but more into the possibilities of what that can buy for them, right?
And is this part like when somebody buys into it, like, are you their coach? Like, do you set up like you've done in the past with the real estate people? Is there a model like where you are a mentor to them, so I buy into it? Do you hand hold me, which I'm sure you do, don't? And then you have to be like the motivational person to keep them in line. So it would be you keeping me. So say I buy into it, you would coach me along the way because you want me to be successful, because that will also make you successful, and then I'll want to recruit people, right?
Yes, but my target is that every person finds 5 people. That's it. They don't have to find. Then they're qualified for life. So it's actually very. It's not such a high target, isn't it?
Well, no. And when you say let's go back to the older people. When you say older, are they retired? And I don't know what the age is there for retirement. Like, give me an idea of the older people.
Well, it's hard to say, because we are in audience of a lot of people who want to be financially free, and they're in their 40s and they're highly educated and they are not making the money for retirement. So that's one. So they're 40 plus, but also 50 plus, I would say. That would be the audience I'm looking for.
Now, do you have anybody yet under your downline?
Yes.
Okay.
Frank has, because I want to be strategically placed. If I'm on the 4th level, I get another bonus and percentage out of that. So I'm waiting for Frank to fill his line to go down. I mean, he's already building down and building sideways, but I want to be placed on the 3rd level under him, because that would give us great advantage.
Oh, that's right, because of the 2 of you. But so you don't personally have anyone. So I would think, so this is good. So we're coming up with your ideal client, and you're saying there's the frank people who are technical, who are in the trades. Then you're saying there's the older people, but this 40 to 50 group, I don't know if these are the older people, but if you can target them, and then that's more in your age range too, where that would be a good group for you. And then you're saying you don't even need that many people under you, but if how it usually works though, you have to motivate the new people. You're going to be busy. It's not like you have your 5 people and you're done, because you want me to get my 5 people, and then my 5 people get 5 people. So you have to step into kind of that helping, accountability, like all that stuff, right?
Yes.
That's kind of the model. Yeah, so it's a matter of brainstorming that, we can decide now, who are we looking for? And I have ideas for you, good ideas, because I've done this before. It's about getting you in front of people, and then showing you and teaching you or reminding you, because some of it may sound basic, but I mean, as your coach, and just, getting some of these social events together. So like your friend that heard about it, she went to a social event. So what was their event like? What was that social event? What did they do?
So my friend has is accountant, and she had a coach, a business coach, and she knows him for a long time. And this business coach invited her at his home, where he had 10 people together.
Yes.
That's where I did this presentation. So that's one way.
Yeah.
So where do I find the people to get a presentation at home?
Well, one, you can decide. So here's some of the things. Bullet point 1, do you want people in your home? Because you're not going to know everyone. Because sometimes that's good and bad regarding judgments. Okay? Right?
Yeah.
And then, or you can go to the local hotel, and get a room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then guess what works, at least in America? food and drinks.
Okay.
So this is all, I promise you're going to come back to all the stuff we've done. It's almost, and you do not, in the, you know, we're jumping ahead here to like the flyer or the copy or the invite. It's not about, you know, a salesy, like Meet the Robot. It's more like I'm making this up right now, the angels, but 7 ways to, I love the words you said, actually, the words you said naturally, to create financial freedom.
Uh-huh.
You know, 7 secrets to creating financial freedom in 2016 or something. So we come up with something juicy.
Right.
And then I don't think for this, like you do this whole social media out in the blue, you know, what you do is you sit down and you come up with your, you know, 10 friends or 10 people you think would support you, have them invite a friend. I mean, we can get more nitty gritty with that and come up with a list if you wanted to go there yet. I don't know if we're still doing kind of the overview. So
I like it. It gives me ideas on how to, so please do continue with these ideas.
Yeah, because there's 2 ways, Katrien. One is I would want to help you one-on-one, because you need to get your presentation down.
Right.
The other thing that I noticed, you know, I'm putting on my little spiritual hat. If I'm understanding this correctly, I know that you guys invested big, and that's a good story because you guys are like, we just went for it because we know, we trust it, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm hearing you right, the only investment's $500, right?
Yes.
And whether that's for this return. So, but I feel like you said a couple times that, is that a big pushback for people? Is that a big amount of money for people?
All right.
It's all perception, right?
I got a whole list of objections that I'm making an inventory of to work with that. But with the 500 deposit, it's a low threshold. But now I have to make sure that they get in writing that if they put down a deposit, they don't have to fill up the whole amount of 21,000. That's something that they are wary of, that they are, suspicious of. So it's 500 deposit, but where does it get me?
Right.
Maybe what's the catch? Do I have to, secretly, did I sign up that I have to pay for 21,000 and then I'm hooked on that? Or that's one of the things. So
and how do you respond to that? Have you worked out your muscles yet verbally and how you respond to that?
Yeah, I'm busy with that. I'm making a list of objections and how to respond to that. But first of all, you really don't have to fill up the 21,000. There is a whole model that you can, with this 500, it takes you 10 years to save up to 21,000. If you participate in the MLM system, you will get there in two years.
So the way you're explaining it to me right now, which is good, I get it. But are you using the word MLN with them?
Yes.
So I don't like that. See, I feel like as somebody coaching you, like in the model, not in a bad way, but so here's where I'm the rebel. And this is how I work with MLNs, and I say it, and I feel like with all my experience, I say it with confidence, even though people don't always like it at first. Your coach is going to teach you a certain way. Let me give you a silly example. This isn't MLM, but I had a young gal, she's a photographer, and when people gave her the pushback of like, oh, it's too expensive, I can't believe it's $500 to get these 2 pictures, like her MLM coach says, say it's tax deductible. That's like an old sales thing. That doesn't make me be like, oh, it's tax deductible, I should do it. That's what I'm hearing from you. It's too MLN. You're not selling them hope. So the good news is you have these coaches that are teaching you the numbers. The numbers aren't selling. we need to go back to features and benefits. All that sales training you and I did for your presentation skills company, I want to teach you the whole language differently with this, because you're saying MLM, so I'm going to run.
Right. Right.
And you're not selling me yet. I mean, again, we're doing this piecemeal today, but you're not selling me hope. It's all about the numbers, but the numbers, remember, if you remember way back, features are the head, benefits are the heart. You're keeping me in my head. Numbers, what? 500, 900, 2100, but I'm not getting financial freedom, time with my kids. So we need to go back to feature benefits.
I get it. Yes.
And for you, it's that one-on-one. Do you plan on doing any social media around this or not really?
Not really, because I hate all this social media, and I hope to do it from my network, and I hope to do it from, going to network events. And I like the idea that everybody who is in the system, but we have a downline already, brings in one or two people.
See, right. Now, see what happens, because I'm invited to these things all the time. And I have people who are, there's a million MLMs, there's pre-legal. I mean, and I've been the keynote speaker for a lot of these places, not just having them on my network. So pre-legal, where you can get attorneys for really cheap if you get into this whole thing. So they often will invite somebody like me, like a big networker. So that would be another goal, like keep your eyeballs open, who's a big influencer? So my problem is I have to say no a lot because people see me as network, so they want me to go, because if I go,
right,
then there's a credibility that goes along with it.
Right.
So you have to entice me, not you, but they have to entice me to want to go, to support it, not to be fake, but to say, and then maybe on social media, I'm excited to hear about this new program to become financially free. It's having to do with robots. Woohoo, let's get into the new century. I'm checking it out. So I'm telling you, if I was to narrow this down, because right now I'm just like spitting it out. So what I hear myself saying, there's 3 balls in the air, okay? And the one ball is your one-on-one presentations.
Yeah.
Like if we were doing this right now, your one-on-one coffees. And I would recommend, if I gave you a marketing plan today and said, you need to pick 1 or 2 people a week who you feel connected with in your old network, friends, who, not the friend itself, but who might be interested. So it's not selling to them, that you basically have coffee with. I think that's going to be one fast way.
Yeah.
The second one is to find those 1 or 2 networking groups. But I think the networking groups should be maybe different than the ones that we looked at, like the chamber and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the chamber. I don't know how business oriented the chamber is, or maybe they're trade associations, or these people, where do all these 40s and 50-year-old people go? But thirdly would be the events. And you can do the events at your home. I know you guys like to cook and stuff too, don't you? Or is Frank a big cook? Which one of you likes to cook?
Well, we both do the cooking, but we're not so fond of it. But I mean, we can start at home.
Right, but be careful. Now, I'm going to talk as an American person here. Judgment. Like, I haven't been to your home. So do people say, oh, they're making all this money, but this house is small? Or do they say, ooh, I could never afford what they have. They probably had money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it depends.
Depends.
Sometimes it's better in the beginning to keep it neutral.
Yeah. Okay. Got that. Yeah.
And then it's going to be like marketing. And then, if you were to say, Heidi, I've got to do this week, this is my whole week, I would say, okay, now let's create this flyer or, this marketing piece that lets people know, that you email to a friend. So this isn't like social media, but this might be an email to let people know, look, we're having, wine tasting. We're
Well,
having, go ahead.
listen to this. Frank just created a company called FinFree, which is financially free.
Yes, I love that.
So this could be also an occasion to invite people.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Excellent. So, what it's sometimes good. So, the big word, and what I'm really into these days, is collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So, it doesn't feel sneaky, and people don't feel like they're just getting us here for the food or whatever, which is fine, that's part of it. Sometimes, like, it's welcoming, we're having a celebration of Frank's new business, Financially Free. We're having a speaker on how to become financially free, and an offer, an opportunity. So use those two words, offer, opportunity, on how that might happen to you. So, for example, there's a system here, and again, I don't know what you guys do over there, but there's a financial planner that I coach who does very, very well, and he does the dinners. Now, this is a big thing, and he specializes in people for retirement. Now, he offers at restaurants,
Uh-huh.
like he sends out a nice formal invitation. This would be down the road, and I'm not saying this is the exact model for you, okay?
Uh-huh.
But he gives them like dinner.
Uh-huh.
They have to make a reservation. It's all free, so he's picking up the tab, of course. But they know there's a presentation. Now, here's as a layperson on the other side. When I see things like that, because I've been to a million of these in the past, I know, and I think in my head, is the dinner or whatever worth it, knowing I'm going to be listening to a 20-25-minute presentation? But if
Uh-huh.
there's a part of my heart that's open to, like, what we really need to do more with our retirement, yes, I want to go. So it's usually, you're always going to get the one or two looky-loos who just want the free booze and food.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the people are there because they want to support or learn. But you have to make it juicy. Get that word out of your mouth. Stop telling people it's MLM, but we're not going to be sneaky about it.
Right. Because I was also thinking a financial advisor who can also advise people to get their pension money out of the system and take ownership of it.
Good. So that's like collaboration. So to me, I always like, my new language is 3 balls in the air. So say it's you. And then here's what's coming in right now. And this is where I'd want to coach you on your presentation. So your presentation, if you remember the old days, we still need to make these people cry. Like you're just throwing numbers at them. Or I know you haven't done like a formal speaking thing. You need to share your background. I had a successful coaching business. I was going to companies. In Amsterdam, the zoo,
Yeah.
But when this opportunity came up and blah, 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 and, we're asking, $500 investment. Frank and I, can we keep a secret here? Invested $2,100 because that's how much we trust this.
21,000.
21,000. But you
Oh.
see, today I want to paint the picture for you. All the stuff that we've done in the past, we can flip it.
Yeah.
Your language has to change. We've got to get it tighter for your one-on-one, for the presentation. And then you, Frank, and this financial planner each have a piece, like a little show. Not too long, but what I would want to do with you is clean up that 15, whether it's a 10-minute, 15, 20, 25 minutes, just like the old days, that it makes people quiet. You've got to show the hope. You've got to tell the stories. And then we've got to work on the one-on-one features, benefits to get them to buy into it.
I love it.
And get in front of them. Because it's a little, now I guess you guys are so advanced, like the whole robot thing can be a little scary. And the reason I asked you about the $500, and I know that you have a prosperity consciousness and the whole thing, but if there's a level that you're buying into, this is more the spiritual piece, that $500, ooh, they can't afford, or they think they can't you're not overcoming objections. So when you're telling me also, what I'm hearing is you're making all this list of objections and overcoming them. Let me help you overcome the objections. Let me give you new language. So give me the objections, but I think before, if you remember the sales script,
Yeah.
that will all come back to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's do the objections from this new language.
Yes. Yes, I got it. But before we go on, I want to make sure if I understood it right, because there was something that you said that really turned me on, and that was new for me.
Okay.
That if I hook up with a financial planner and we offer something like really good tips on how to take more advantage of your pension, then you say that I only do have to do a piece of 10 minutes and say, Frank and I doing this is what we did for 5. I don't know. So I'm turning it around. I don't have to do a big show, but just be a side show somehow. To how do you see that? Can you?
So you have like a flyer. So you make it juicy. Like, why should I come? And basically, here's how I'm visualizing it. Because the three of you, let's make believe, do you have a financial planner in your head? Do you know of somebody that you're thinking of?
Yeah, but I have to approach him on this one, and I don't know if he, yeah.
Or what about the accountant, though? So the accountant, to me, is credible.
But she lives in another country. But
okay.
She would be great. Yeah, she would be great in Belgium. She's living in Belgium, but that's okay. I can find an accountant.
Okay, but somebody in the money business. So but you make it showy. So here's the flyer. Okay, here's the piece of paper, but there's a picture of you. Like, remember, I want to pimp you out. You look the part, you're attractive, Frank. I see a photo of all three of you with credibility under your names.
Yeah.
The name of Frank's business, Financial Freedom. Hello. The name of your business, even if you're not in the speaking business. But I mean, what's the name of your speaking business again?
Totally presents. It means, but that business is gone.
Okay. But I mean,
we're together in financial
real estate. Okay, so you're a real estate business, real estate investor.
Yes.
Okay, real estate investor under your name. Then there's an account. So I'm seeing 3 speakers. I'm setting you up like a showcase. 3 speakers. Because my methods, as you know, that I still do today, and my clients, after a while, to close 50% of the room. This goes back to the speaking, seating, setting it up. And all 3 of you, and of course I can work with Frank too and working on his talk. The 3 of you, and remember though, this takes a little time, like, you want to market it, but it doesn't matter if you get 9 people there, 15, 20 people, you want to keep it somewhat intimate, but you want to always give nuggets. So say I'm not ready, but you're basically introducing. Like, how juicy would the copy be? Something like, okay, so say you have the 3 of you, and then are you ready to, you ask one question, are you ready? Is this the year that you want to become financially free? ? Come learn from 3 experts who quit their jobs. Like, right there, your story. You quit your job. Frank quit his job. And their secrets to success.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then you have your 5 bullets. Remember the bullet days?
Yes.
Okay, so this goes back to the features and benefits, So bullet 1, the number 1 mistake most entrepreneurs do. Now, this may be too focused. I mean, this isn't perfect right now, but, you make it kind of a speaking thing, but then you introduce, learn you in the seminar, in this hour seminar, whatever, you'll learn the latest techniques, introducing robots to make money. I mean, that can be one or 2 of the bullets. You want to combine the emotions. You want to combine the technical. I want to hear the secrets. I want to hear, are you tired of working hard and not making enough money? Are you interested in investing your money but not sure how or where? Are you aware of the latest technologies of robots? Are you thinking about getting into real estate? Because you've got these stories. You've been only doing this whole real estate thing for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So you don't want people under that. So what are you hearing me say? I want to make sure, because I'm just kind of brainstorming.
All right. Well, what I hear you say is that I have to zoom out a little bit and go away from the figures and go to selling hope.
Yes.
And, I could do that with 2 experts, 3 experts, but we both have our little 10 minutes song and dance on, bullets that they can, and I think in the area of what they can do now so that they can take ownership of their pension or, something like that.
Yes.
Financial independence. What can they do now? Because Frank is also figuring how in England you can take your pension out and, and pay some fine, but then you have ownership of it. So I was thinking of that, of something. And I can do a piece, Frank can do a piece, and a third party can do a piece with also very good expertise on this.
Yes. So that's the big picture. Now, of course, we have to clean up your talk, the marketing of it. But I think what I know, the fastest way, and you're telling me you want something fast, is to get people in front of you as credibility. And again, my recommendation at first would be, and then you do something around food and drink.
Yeah.
And then you go for, though, the influencers, like right now off the top of your head.
I have a mentor in real estate. She could come.
Thank you.
I can support her with her business also, and then we can do the song and dance on how to do that.
Yes, have her, but then ask her, because if she's your mentor and she wants to help you, it's like, Susie Q, who can you bring as a guest? Because see, what we're doing here, different than social media, we're building on people who trust each other. So if I'm friends with Susie Q and I trust her, and she's like, Heidi, you keep saying that you want to travel more or work on your retirement, just come to this event. If nothing else, you'll have some nice food and a drink and meet some new people. So you build on the people you trust. So you need to sit down and think, who are my, 5 or 6 or 10 people that I could call and invite them.
She's in the downline already, so that is great.
Well, that's better. So that's how you're thinking now. Think who's in the downline, who's already swimming, and then not to be secretive, but like this girl, what's her name? Who are we talking about?
Lena.
And you, by the way, before we close here, you have to tell me what's going on with Leanna. But we'll do that over there. Okay, but so Lena or whatever, they should not all necessarily, I don't know yet, show up as the downline. She's showing up as I'm a real estate investor as well. But and then maybe she does do a testimonial, within the talk. That's kind of my expertise is the talk, and it's producing a show with the 3 of you. And then you say, how does this sound, or who would like to share? Maybe Lena comes up and shares her experience. So it's called, if you remember, social proof.
Right.
So I do this all the time in my seminars, but I mean, it's real. Say you're in one of my seminars. Well, that's why, I've asked you to do testimonials and stuff from me, because I can say all day long, this is great, and I invested, but they're like, but you're still it's still a sale for you. So I say, Katrien, during the talk, I'm going to call on you, and can you, and it's perfected. We've done that. Do you see how everything we've done in the past is coming together that we can use here? So here's what I see as our next steps to clean up some stuff is your one-liner.
Yeah.
And then where are you going to go network? You need to do some research.
Yeah.
Your second liner. I feel like we need to break this down easier so you have the language coming out of your mouth easily. And
Yeah.
then we practice almost a one-on-one presentation. So say you're meeting with Susie Q for coffee,
Yeah.
and whether it's for her or other people, you explain, because Susie Q, so you explain it to me, so maybe I'm not interested, but then I go tell my husband and say, that's interesting. You're in manufacturing. Maybe that robot thing. So you have to give it to me so easily so I can share it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we build on this song and show. And then you can always alternate. Say there's three of you at first, you, Frank, and the accountant.
Right.
Then maybe in a month or two, see, you can sort of get known that you do these inspirational, educational talks. Then when you go to the chamber, let's say you go back to the chamber, oh, we're doing a talk, if you're interested, on financial freedom and investments.
Right.
So it's next Thursday. We're only taking 10 people. We're providing some wonderful food and appetizers. This is a great networking opportunity too.
Right. And also I see myself like Frank has a 10-minute piece, and I have a 10, and then we have always a new guest, an accountant, a real estate investor.
Exactly, because then it becomes fun. And then eventually you might do this at your home or again, back and forth. So you have to decide. But then, because it's the credibility, because it's perception, I see you doing speaking. There's a credibility, even though it can be just perceived. And then it's you and I working on perfecting your talk. So you're seeding, so you're making them cry. You're using your story. It's going to be really bringing back all the stuff that you already know, but we haven't done. And listen to your coach. I don't want to take away from your coach, but that's how you sell MLN, not talking about MLN. And you kind of talk about it with a thing, or you know how to overcome those objections like that.
So what you're saying is also like we have a 1 hour seminar divided by 3 very short introductions, and then everything is done behind the screens, like to pull them in.
Well, it's through the seating. So let's make believe this is the meeting. So let's call it, a 7 to 9 situation, or a 6 to, I don't know. What time do you guys usually, like, what's the dinner time? Well, you're Europeans. We eat late. We eat so late. We eat at 9 o'clock every night.
We eat early. So 7 to 9 is, I would say 8 to 10.
Okay. So 8 o'clock, people come, they mix and mingle, and then you don't have to feed them a whole dinner, but there's, again, the food and what people eat over there. I know it's completely different here. So, they have their drink, their food, they mix and mingle for 20, 25 minutes. You're the hostess, blah, blah, blah. Then, of course, I want to, because I'm the queen, so I always ring my bell. Okay, it's time to get started, everybody. You're the ringleader, and we're so excited that you're here. And how many of you, it's still, April, and how many of you made a goal in the new year to make more money? Raise your hands. But how many of you have been too busy with your other goals? All of a sudden, life's getting in the way. Boy. Well, the purpose, remember, it goes back to the 6-step opening.
Yeah, I love it.
You okay?
I love it.
It's all gonna come back to you.
Yeah.
The purpose of our being here is to support you in giving you some new ideas, some inspiration to da 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 da. So I have some speakers here, and know that blah 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 blah. So I'd like to first introduce you to Susie Q is an accountant, and she's going to share with you her 3 tips to blank. Then, so it's all, for example, I just got off this morning. So I have, again, my divas, but 3 of them, they sell Melaleuca, which is like health products and everything else, okay? But they've collaborated with 3 women, and behind it's an MLM company selling supplements and stuff, but on the surface, and not in a bad, one owns like a fitness thing. They're going to talk about getting fit, feeling good, having energy for the new year. They're teaching. So you need to realize it's all education. You're trying to sell them the money 500, 21,000. And that's why you're getting the objections. I promise you, the objections will come down because we're going to be covering those up front.
Okay. We are coming to the end, I believe.
Yeah.
So shall we book another appointment?
Yeah. And then I think based on where you want to go for the next appointment, now that I have a strong idea of what you're doing, I think that today was the overview, the whole bit, and then Phil's roaming around. I'll see how we can get, and I will get you the invoice statement that says that you've paid. Okay, so I will, and under Frank's name, you want that under his thing. But what was I going to say? Yes, so I think we should go back to, unless of course when we meet again you have specifics, but I think we need to come up with a one-liner, a second liner, start with the sales presentation.
Yeah, I agree. And then on the way we'll do also the networking and how to go about that. Yeah,
whatever you want. But instead of starting, like if you just said overcome objections, I think I need to remind you to go back to the basics of the sales piece, and then I'll teach you and remind you how to overcome objections. The good news is you're going to be further along because I've trained you in all this stuff, and you'll see how we can use it. Yeah.
It will come back. So how about next week, Heidi? How are you?
Yeah. I can do that Monday. Is this a good day for you? Let me see. Do you still like this? I can do this sort of time. So next week, any morning kind of, except Thursday.
Monday morning at the same time.
Okay, so on the 20th.
Yes.
So I guess obviously we're off on the hour. So this is because of the time change. So it's 9:30 now. It's 9:30 my time.
This was 9:30 for you?
Right now it's 9:30.
All right, so 8:30, how we start. How is that for you?
Yes. So let's do next Monday, February 20th.
Yes.
And for our second session. And then do you want to just do the Zoom link again? Because it works. So let's not figure, do you mind doing it?
I just need to figure out the recording. That's really.
And I think I'll be able to, because it says recording. When I stop, I hope that we got this down. I know you took a lot of notes, and I'll make sure Phil's roaming around to see. But it takes a while to render. Do you understand?
Okay.
If it's an hour, so this may not be later. And I'll let you know. I'll say, oh my gosh, it didn't work, or it's coming or something.
Can I take 2 more appointments down with you?
Yes. Yes, because I am going to LA for a few days. So let's see. Let me just write this down. So 8:30 on Monday, the 20th.
And the 27th, Monday later?
On the 27th, I do already have something, 8:30, 9:30. But how can we do Tuesday, the 28th?
No, the Tuesdays I'll be busy. Wednesday.
Because that's the thing that I'm in. I go to Los Angeles on Wednesday.
Oh.
But I'm not gone that long, but I'm gone that Monday and Tuesday. So if you want to, I could do later on Monday.
When are you back from LA?
Well, I get back late Monday the 6th, so the 7th. So I'd be back on Wednesday the 8th.
Okay. And
but
then
I know you want urgency.
No, that week I'm also in Germany.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So on the 27th, do you have a slot available?
I do later, like it, but this may be too late for you, but I don't know. Hold on. Let me think for a second. 8:30, 9:30, 9:30, 10:30. I'm home at 11. I could do like 10:30 to 11. So my time, like, anytime like 11:30, anytime 11:30 my time, 12, 1, 2. It's like early afternoon my time.
11:30 is fine, and that would be still doable in my time. It's plus 6 hours, so I have to look up how much that precisely.
And it'd be like 8:30, 9:30, 9:30, 10:30, 10:30, 11:30, 11:30, 12, 12:30. Yeah, that would still be like early afternoon your time, like 2:30 or something.
Yes.
So Monday the 27th at 11:30 works?
Yes. And then, I'm also gone for, then the 13th of March will work.
Yep, and once we get you back on, schedules, then I can start blocking. So the 13th at 8:30 works.
Yeah. Fabulous.
So no word on Leanna? You're not in touch with her anymore?
No, no, I don't know. I mean, she's doing everything back in Dutch,
Oh,
and
she is?
she's doing more business coaching and presentations on the side. So
Okay, but at least she's still kind of in the industry.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. She's very ambitious and in the industry.
Well, I am excited to work with you. I totally get what you're doing. Stop saying it's MLN. Let's get your language down, okay? And let's rework it from using our old techniques. And then I will see you next Monday, and then I'll have you send me the Zoom card. I'll send you the recording and the paid invoice, okay?
Very good. Thank
All right,
you.
my dear. Good to see
Have
you.
a great day.
All right, talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You shut this thing.
I know. It says end meeting. All right. Let's
Leave
see.
me.
End meeting.